What server are you in? I am in the Banter bunker server. It's good. 1 hour. Fuck anticlimactic. Anticlimactic? Is that a pun on anticlimactic? Jesus. Or is this a term for people who are anti-clits? I don't know who's anti the clit. Do you think anybody's really anti-clit? Oh, very, very anticlimactic. Right, play game. We'll just log in for a little bit because I was threatened with death. Wonder if balls are red and clit's upside down in Australia. How would you tell if a clit's upside down? Like the only the very top knob of a clit actually shows, right? Most of it's below ground, not below ground. Most of it's like, you know, it's deep in you. But you only get, it's like a diglet. I've always said that. A clit is like a diglet. But you know those like joke animations of diglets where it's just like the diglet is above ground and it's this giant mega structure below the earth. Maybe. Have I made that up? Hang on. Let me tab out for a second. Diglet below ground? A clitlet. Oh! Yes, this is what I'm thinking of. Oh, there's a few very odd images that have just popped up, but this is the one I remember. Let me open image in new tab. There we go. This is the one I'm thinking of. Like an iceberg, there we go. I like the butt dudes hugging. Yes, this one. These two are the ones I remember. These are diglets. I'm not really that into Pokemon. Is this what they actually are like? Who knows? It's like a diglet. Dreya on clitorises. Is it clitorises or clitori? I think I have I think I coined the word clitorati for use on women. Like, oh, you're a woman, so you're a member of the clitorati, which I find hilarious. I don't know if anybody else does. Not sure. Dig clit. Oh, God. I don't know why that's the line. Dig clit. I guess it kind of conjures up an image of trying to dig it out. Like if you have like a scab on your arm or something. It's of Greek root, therefore clitoris. Uncoin it. Oh, God. Lower correct Pokemon. I think it's Latin. So that would be clitori. I think if it's Greek, it's clitorides. Like octopodes or octopods being for octopi or octopuses. Do you think architects are better at finding the clit than normal people? I imagine architects are very socially inept. Maybe they wouldn't have the chance to learn. I don't know why. Again, it's right there. I don't get the meme. Wouldn't it be clitorises or clitoris if it's Latin? Maybe clitoris. What is is it just an English thing that it's clitori? I actually don't know the rules for etymology that way, for plurals. Because I know octopi is technically wrong. I think it is in some dictionaries, but basically the octopus's one is so fucked that people have just gone, anything you say is fine. So it's octopodes, octopods, octopuses, octopi are all fine. Clitori, if it was clitoris. Is it not clitoris? How is clitoris spelled? That's like... Clitori. The I is Latin, but the rules are nuts in Latin. Latin is meant to be unbelievably difficult. Oh, it's an IS, not a US at the end. Fuck, I'm dead! Oh, fuck, he got me. Oh, fucker. Right, enough about clits. Respawn at home. Hang on. I'm in my base, and stuff isn't looted. Oh, okay. Hang on. I think, because this is fine. Did this fire at all? Why can't I select this? Has my TC rights been revoked? Oh, they killed Weetabix. Authorized. Building decaying. Oh, fuck, they took all my metal. Oh, no. That's been taken. That's been... I think they might have come through the roof and authorized themselves. Right. What's been done here? That door's been blown up. They came through my balcony, of course. The balcony was never going to be a good idea. Bastards, people just griefing you. Oh! I forgot I put those down. I'm fucking up, everybody. Amazing. Okay, good stuff. So, oh, they came in through the roof, actually. It looks like they came through the roof. Came through the roof, blew out this door to get out, blew out this door and took everything. I don't think they even managed to get to my secondary supplies. They took all of my secondary supplies, right? This is not where I kept most of my stuff. Now, this was all of my building materials, but... none of my metal, I think. They rinsed out a lot of this. They blew through here into the TC, but I don't think they had enough explosives to blow through here. So most of my stuff is actually still fine. They didn't take my food. That's good. And it is better than nothing. They did kill Weetabix. They didn't take... I still have guns because of that, but they did take some of my ammo. I still have some guns. Let's take some shotgun shells and use a shotgun. You know what? This could have been worse, I think. This did go off, which is nice. This went off. Trapped themselves in the traps to stop people raiding. This, I think this could have been a lot worse. This could have been a lot worse. Dirty little goblin could have rinsed me out more, probably. But I have been left with all of my scrap. I've been left with many of my materials, although I desperately need some wood. Before I log off, I need to... oh, Jesus. I need to get some metal so that my base stops decaying. That's like the big one. The base is gonna fall apart if I don't get some metal going. I have some wood, so let's put the heaters on. Let's smelt some metal, right? And we need to go get some more wood. Where's... oh, I don't fucking know. What do you have on you? Put on a thing. Give me a pickaxe. I need some sort of hatchet. Can I build one? I actually don't know. How do I build a salvage metal hatchet? If I go into tools. Salvaged axe. There it is. Pipe and blades. Unraidable. I mean, look. This room with my main materials in it. Still fine. Still actually all right. Not too bad. I'm gonna take this as a massive win. I'm having a shit week, and I think for my Thursday gaming time, I'm gonna download this game and find a server. I would recommend it, despite what's just happened to me. Hey, there we go. We have weapons, we have tools. Let's go get some stuff to recover a little bit. All we need, really, is stone and wood, right? We're about to get some metal. Put in 18 metal. Just give me a few minutes at least. We have 8 minutes before it starts decaying again. Get some wood, baby. Let's go. They didn't get through the gate. Let's arm that. There we go. No, arm it, not... I want to keep these here. There we go. They didn't get through the gate. They had to use ladders like cowards. Did they leave me like a special little note or anything? No, somebody wanting to join the team. You know what? Fine, if you're saying this. You can join the team. I don't know if you want to, seeing as what's just happened. Where am I going to find some wood? I mean, anywhere. We live next to a forest. And metal and stone. All very, very useful. I think it's almost more insulting that they took all the metal from the TZ, knowing that that would decay the base. I missed, was it raided? It was raided. Well, just an assassin job. It was less raided. They did take a lot of my chests, but none of the important ones. It was mainly to send a point, I think. All right, let's just chop down some trees, get some mushies, you know, just relax and recover for a second. I was given a military shotgun right now and then immediately got killed by a wolf and lost it. If you have a shotgun, how do you get killed by a wolf? Those are not trees. Macbeth reference and then that fucking phrase. I've said this before. Macbeth is one of my favorite plays, probably my favorite Shakespeare play. I really love that. I really love Macbeth. It's the thing that got me into Shakespeare. I think the twist in Macbeth is so stupid that any critic would laugh at it. Right? It's such an insane twist. It's great, but Henry IV has better monologues in my opinion. I haven't watched any of the Henry plays or the Richard plays. I haven't seen any of his like historical kings stuff. I should. We're so clever, aren't we, chat? I've gone on rants before about how Shakespeare shouldn't be seen as a clever high-end pursuit, that it should just be, you know, good common fun. Oh, thank you for the follow, Wally. That's very kind of you. Probably my favorite Pixar movie? No, is it? I really like Wall-E, but I think it's not as good in the second half. It might be Inside Out is my favorite Pixar, but Wall-E's maybe second. I don't think he wanted to be either. Oh no, of course not. Like one of the reasons, like if you read reviews of Shakespeare at the time, it's basically like reading views for fucking Michael Bay. People hated him for being like this common upstart who wasn't like royal educated, and people would like whistle and yell at the stage while it was being performed, and it was like cheap entertainment for the masses and stuff like that. And then the Victorians turned it into this fucking highbrow noble pursuit that you had to be very quiet for and stuff. I always say this, but I watched a performance online. I didn't go, but I watched a performance online of Twelfth Night at the Globe Theatre, and it was fucking hilarious, and people were just in jeans and t-shirts fucking like watching this Shakespeare production with high-end actors. Stephen Fry played Malvolio and was very funny, despite, you know, Stephen Fry being kind of a prick, but he was funny in that. And he's kind of perfect casting for that character. But anyway, and people were just like laughing like they were at a, you know, Will Ferrell comedy, and like wolf whistling at the actors, because it was all male crew being played for laughs. And it was just like a fun time. It was like, this is what Shakespeare is meant to be. It's meant to be, you just go and enjoy yourself, and it's fun, and it's actiony, and it's comedic, and sometimes extremely moving. And, you know, there's some, like in Macbeth, there's some extremely moving monologues, and in the Henry plays and stuff like that. But it's also meant to be fun and like blockbustery. It's good. I liked it. A show can easily be done badly, but when it's done right, it's a good one. Yes, definitely. Because I watched a movie version of it and did not like it at all. I thought the what's it called? I can't even remember who's in it, but there's a movie version from maybe the 90s, and I really didn't like it. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was so dour and unfunny and taking itself so seriously. I just don't get it at all. Like, it seemed to completely miss the point of the play. It was so... Like, the movie, or the play, I should say, is very much like a party comedy. It's meant to be like a farce, almost. And the movie played it so dour and melodramatic, and I didn't get it. I'm not a huge fan of theatre adapting films, or vice versa, so I don't get behind any Shakespeare movies. I've heard some are good. I don't know if I've seen any, but I've heard that... What's it called? Midsummer's Night's Dream. Much Ado About Nothing by Kenneth Branagh is supposed to be good. I think the new Macbeth is meant to be pretty good. The Coen brother one, not Coen brothers, the Coen brother one with Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand. I've heard that one's all right. I might watch that. Kurosawa's pretty serious version, but I love it all the same. Yeah, Kurosawa. He did King Lear, didn't he, maybe? I haven't watched any Kurosawa either. You know how I said Fellini was like a huge gap in my film knowledge? I also haven't watched any Kurosawa. No, that's a lie. I've watched one Kurosawa movie, and it's not one of his most acclaimed ones. I've watched Dreams by Kurosawa, which is the one with Martin Scorsese playing Vincent van Gogh. And that one's okay. But I've never watched any other. I've never watched Ran. I've never watched Ikaru. I've never watched any of those. Yeah, I've never watched Throne of Blood or Ran. It's class. Love Dreams. Dreams is pretty good. I thought it was fine. It's not one of his like most high-end like famous ones, but I thought it was good. Get high. You know, oh no, Jesus Christ, that scared the fuck out of me. Fuck you. Leave me alone. Oh, some health. That's actually quite nice. Take that. Very different from his others, but like it anyway. Yes, it is. Even I know that. I also have a very hot take that high school theatre should shy away from Shakespeare because they get too sweaty with it and think that there's theatre genius. Honestly, I kind of agree. One of the reasons I liked Macbeth so much is that the teacher didn't really do that as much. Like, we just read it as like an entertaining piece of fiction. We read it alongside for the Irish curriculum. Here's how it works. In English, the teacher chooses from a big list of things, right? You have to choose one movie, one play, and one novel to study, and then compare and contrast. Didn't you have 8 minutes before the walls decayed? Yeah, I probably should get back in a second. Hang on. Do we have any metal? Not really. We don't really have much wood either. Let's go back and put on some more metal. Just, you know, recover a bit. But yeah, we reviewed it along with Children of Men, which is a fantastic movie. And, what was the book we did? I think we did Brooklyn by Colm Tóibín, which is a book I cannot fucking stand. But anyway, it just made us, you know, compare it to modern stuff more and treat it as like a modern piece of fiction and not overanalyze it to the point of sterility. And it was nice. I did theatre in high school, and the theatre festivals would always have at least one Shakespeare production. It was always so full of themselves. That's the problem with doing Shakespeare, is because some of the people doing Shakespeare treat it as this sort of sacred cow. And it's just, you know, it's just like good plays. Like, people ripped the shit out of them when they were put on. You know, there was, if you go read a review of Hamlet from the time it came out, and look how much they rip apart that fucking play. And it's all things like, oh, Shakespeare again, fucking bloody heck as usual. It's like, everybody dies, big surprise from old Shakespeare. Which is really funny. And I think if that attitude was more prevalent when you're doing Shakespeare, more people would like Shakespeare. Because it's just like fun. It's fun stuff. And moving as well. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm ranting about this. Let's go back and put in some wood into the furnaces. Try to research Shakespeare. Impossible, because no one cared enough to actually record his personal life. Yes, definitely a thing. Because he wasn't poor, but he wasn't like aristocracy or anything. And you know, isn't there like 7 years of Shakespeare's life that we know virtually nothing about? Like, he just went off traveling a bit and nobody knows where he went. Nobody knows why. He just disappeared off records. Like, there's sparse records here and there about his life. And then for 7 years, there's just nothing. And then he came back and started writing shit like Merchant of Venice and stuff, you know, like, so probably went to Italy. Who knows? Because he gets Italy, from what I've read at least. I've never been to either of these places I'm about to say. But apparently, when he writes other countries that aren't Britain, he is so completely off that it's laughable. Except Italy, he's okay at Italy. Like, you know, Denmark for Hamlet, it's a disaster trying to write Denmark. I agree, but the effect he had in English came with time, so it makes sense to his degree to find his work sacred. I do get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think I really like Shakespeare, but the first time we studied Shakespeare, not only was it a play I hate, we did Merchant of Venice in junior cert, so I would have been 15, right? That was the first time I really read Shakespeare, was 14, 15. And we did Merchant of Venice, which I hate anyway. But the teacher was so adamant that this was like a genius and a masterpiece, and we had to read it really solemnly and analyze every line and be really, really focused in on it. And then when I studied Macbeth, which is also just much better, it was great because we didn't do much of that. It was just sort of like, here, enjoy this story. We'll go through, if anyone has problems with the language, I'll explain it. But like, this is just like a fun, cool essentially action drama, you know? It's like a good... I mean, it opens with him cutting someone in half, you know? It's intentionally bloody. And it's short because I think there's allegations that he wanted to keep it intentionally short because King James was a bit of an idiot and so didn't want to do it too long. In Italy, many think Romeo and Juliet is a real thing. It's so odd. In Verona, you can go to where he called up to Juliet's window, and standing there, I'm like, it's a story. That's slightly weird and kind of creepy. I like Romeo and Juliet okay as well. It's not one of my favorites. I don't know, I haven't actually read that much Shakespeare, to be fair. I think for theatre and English history is great, but I understand why the historians recorded of the time didn't bother going to too much detail, since he wasn't anticipated to be so famous. Oh, definitely not. I mean, what's the famous line? Upstart Crow, I think is the famous line. That's what some reviewers called him. It was like, this fucking... Look at this fucking nerd thinks that he's like one of us. Like, people didn't really consider him that famous or transformative at the time. It was only afterwards when they got bound into folios and distributed everywhere, right? I mean, he was a big crowd drawer, but like only in certain areas, right? I'm not a fan of that one. I think it's overdone. That's a problem with some Shakespeare stuff as well, is that really like 4 or 5 of them get adapted over and 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 over. You know? 1 second, we go into here. Which was the one I watched? 12th Night movie. Watched 12th Night and hated it. Yes, it was this one with Helena Bonham Carter. 1996, directed by Trevor Nunn. I hated this movie. Yeah, that's the one. I fucking despised this movie. Featuring an all-star cast set in the late 19th century for some reason. I don't really have a problem with updating Shakespeare, but this one didn't do it particularly well. It was filmed on location in Cornwall, including scenes shot at Padstow. No idea what that is. With Orsino and his followers wearing uniforms that evoke the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's just an excuse to have some fancy hats that they had lying around. I don't watch this. I really didn't like it, basically. 76%. That is fucking high praise for an overwrought movie. I don't know. The worst Shakespeare thing... No, there's 2 tied for the worst Shakespeare things I've ever seen, and they're both Macbeth, which is, again, probably my favourite. I watched a live play at the Everyman Theatre in Cork when I was about 18. I went to see a live production of Macbeth, and it was fucking atrocious. It was way too up itself. It was so artsy, and artsy without any substance. They were just doing the lines. They weren't updating it all or anything like that. But it was they were all dressed in sort of World War I outfits, and they were all doing interpretive dance to Radiohead. And as soon as that first started, I was like, I'm not going to be into this. And I love Radiohead and arty shit. I like artistic nonsense, and I like Radiohead. I don't like this. Just you love to see a World War I Shakespeare adaptation, worth nightmare. Like, the guy came on, this like skinny bald guy who was playing Macbeth with a big mustache. Looked a bit like the guy who directed The Green Knight, actually. 1 second. If I go to full camera. Is it the guy I'm thinking of? The Green Knight. Oh, that's arty shit that I like. Directed by David Lowry. Yeah, looked a lot like this. It wasn't him, but picture this guy in a similar shirt, right? Picture this guy coming on stage, and immediately no surprises by Radiohead starts, and they start dancing around and throwing red ribbons out of their chests as like, they're not holding prop weapons or anything. They're just like miming holding an axe and slashing at somebody. And then they go, oh, and then red confetti sprays out. And immediately I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be into this. I don't know if I'm going to be into this. And the rest of it was kind of boring, but I just remember being so baffled by that opening scene. I'm mad just thinking about it. I'd get up and leave. I don't know if it was particularly... I think I looked it up later, looked up reviews of it, and most of them went, this is not very good. So at least I wasn't alone. The other Macbeth version I've seen that's equally as bad is an Australian Macbeth where they're all 21st century gang leaders, and Sidney Macbeth is trying to take over the gang, and so he kills King Duncan, but they're all still speaking in Shakespearean language despite wearing bad Armani suits. And he sleeps with the witches, who are all 14-year-old schoolgirls. It's a very, very, very bad movie. Second, Australian Macbeth. Sam Worthington is in it, apparently. Is this the one I'm thinking of? This is the one I'm thinking of. Ooh! Look at that poster. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. 2006 Australian adaptation of William Shakespeare's Macbeth. It was directed by Jeffrey Wright and features an ensemble cast led by Sam Worthington. Filmed in Melbourne and Victoria. It uses a modern-day Melbourne gangster setting, but largely maintains the original play. It is horrific, from what I remember. I'm going to look it up now, and it's going to have like 89 on Rotten Tomatoes or something, but I hated this so much. 49, that is generous even. 49 is still too high. The sex scene with the schoolgirls was so weird, man. I didn't get what they were going for. A new take on Macbeth relies too heavily on nudity and violence, ends up looking like a campy 1970s horror. I would say that makes it sound great. Like, that makes it sound fantastic. It's not good, though. It's real bad. When they talk about nudity, I think they're talking about the witch schoolgirls, from what I remember. I don't think you see any penis. You don't get to see Macbeth's cock. Because you never fucking do you? It's always either Lady Macbeth or the witches. Yeah, here they are! Hang on! This is what the witches look like in this movie. The witches are all creepy schoolgirls, and he has sex with them fairly graphically. It's a bad time that I wouldn't recommend. I think I watched this in school, actually. And everybody was like, oh, Jesus. Is this a cock I see before me? Is this a Wednesday knockoff? Oh, no. Macbeth, don't watch it. Go read the play or something. I've heard the new one's okay, the one with Denzel Washington, but this is a bad movie. I just remember they show up and they're reading these highly wrought Shakespearean soliloquies with really thick Australian accents, and they're all wearing like shiny suits and holding like rifles, and I was like, huh. This doesn't seem great. After Macbeth is hailed as the new leader by most of Duncan's gang, he sends 2 murderers to kill Banquo and his son. Yep, everyone's named Banquo in 2006 Melbourne. Sorry. I'm gonna celebrate by drinking the club's alcohol and pills found on the table. Sorry, I'm just really into this. Macbeth film. Ugh. Is that still a thing where you're not supposed to say the name of Macbeth if you're doing a production of Macbeth? Maybe they just said the name Macbeth a lot and that's why it's so bad. Doing Macbeth for GCSE literature really ruined for me. That's what we were talking about a little bit, right? Is that studying Shakespeare does make people hate Shakespeare a little bit. Like, you know, I remember our English teacher brought in the Polanski version of Macbeth and then turned it off after the first few horrific murders. I've heard that one isn't that bad. It's not considered one of his classics. But I've heard it's not that terrible. What's the best version of Macbeth? I haven't really seen many good ones. I think the new one is meant to be quite good. The one with Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington. I can't remember the other one. Isn't there one with Mel Gibson in it? God, they're all creeps, aren't they? Creepy Australian goth men have gone too far. I used to say Shakespeare never meant for us to scrutinize his work so hard. Of course not, no. I mean, like we were saying, he's held up as like, I think justifiably, because when you read Shakespeare outside of a school setting and you sort of let yourself in a little bit and you analyze it on your own, it's interesting, and like you can tell why he's so held up. But I just kind of go, like, Throne of Blood is Macbeth, isn't it? I don't know. I've never seen it. Again, it's one of those ones that's been on my list forever. Like, so many Kurosawa movies on my list, and I have only seen one yet. Anyway, let's put some more metal in. We need to smelt metal, so this is what we need to do. Let's get lots of metal to smelt. Yes, Weetabix was talking about throwing the blood earlier. Let me get 2,000 wood in here and 2,000 metal. Turn it on. This will hold us for a while. Oh, and the kazoo as well. I forgot about the kazoo. Fine. After I put on the metal, I'll kazoo. I used to say Shakespeare. Yeah, we read that already. So I'm just reading other messages now. Let's get these in here. Turn on. That should be enough to hold us. I just looked it up and it does seem to be influenced by it. Kurosawa did that a few times, right? He did at least 2 Shakespeare adaptations. At least. I don't know if he did more. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, big stretch. Let's tab out while I'm doing this. Turn this on for the love of God. Why is no metal in this? What are you doing? More metal, more metal, more metal. We don't have very much wood, but fuck it, put on something. That director seems really creepy and like a flop. I wouldn't be that surprised. just from the vibe from that movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a creep. Jeffrey Wright. Who do I know Jeffrey Wright from? Romper Stomper featuring Russell Crowe. Macbeth. Metal Skin starring Ben Mendelsohn. So very Australian guy. I've never heard of anything but these 2 movies. Macbeth and Romper Stomper. Loverboy, Metal Skin, Cherry Falls. Never heard of any of these. He's a wackadoo. The Witch in Throne of Blood is awesome. Lady Macbeth is amazing too. He barely has a Wikipedia page. For other people of a similar name, see Jeffrey Wright. Oh, Jeffrey Wright's the actor from... Isn't he the one from Westworld? The one who's really good in Westworld, who kind of saves Westworld, let's be honest. Yes, he is. This is another guy called Jeffrey Wright. This guy. I like him. What else has he been in? Oh, he was in Batman. Oh, never mind. He was terrible in that. Let's do the fucking kazoo, shall we? What was the kazoo? I'm scrolling back. There it is. It is something called it's the Weather Girls. Okay. It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls. Oh no. Neo-Nazi movie with Russell Crowe and a serial killer killing virgins movie. Bad vibes. Oh god. Right. I've never seen the music video for this. Is it literally just some buff boys falling from the sky and then getting jumped? I don't know. It's a song about sex, right? Or to repair them, or stone, one or the other. So we're just going to pick a direction and walk for a second, see if we can find some nodes. Like up here, I see some wood, I see some metal. That'll do for now. Must be. I don't know, I don't really know any gay music, it turns out. Like every time somebody in chat recommends some sort of queer icon music, I either don't know it or hate it, like Madonna. So what's happened in Rust? Dirty little goblin came and destroyed my world, basically. I see a metal node over there, by the way, so we're going to go to that. Dreya got raided, huge shock. Not as badly as he could have. I think, honestly, it held up better than I was expecting it to. Like, it held up quite well. At least you like Fever Ray. I do like Fever Ray a lot. Fever Ray is very cool. Did your face not survive? Most of it did, and they didn't get into my... They got into my tool cabinet, but they didn't get into the, like, main chest room and my bed. Good. I was in a team with TLG for the RIP charity tournaments. I mean, they're just better at the game than me. I don't like Madonna either. There are dozens of us. I cannot stand Madonna. I think Madonna is not just bad, she's bad and boring. Like, I've never heard a Madonna song and thought, oh, I can see why this is famous. It's always baffling to me. I'm like, people listen to this shit? So I know a lot of people love Madonna. She's overrated. Thank you. Björk is also a queer icon. I do love Björk. Björk's great. Has kind of a Fever Ray thing going on. Well, Fever Ray has a Björk thing going on. Just Madonna I hate, really. I like Elton John. He's kind of a queer icon, right? Lady Gaga. Don't like Lady Gaga. I do love how it annoys people when I say it that way, though. She says something about being bisexual, like you have to try all the flavors. Is that Björk? That's quite funny. Oh, absolutely he is. I mean, he's gay, but is that enough to be a gay icon? Like, is being a gay icon just being gay and producing music that isn't absolutely atrocious? Like, what does it take? Like, I don't know. Who's a gay artist that isn't seen as a gay icon? I don't know. Very Björk way of coming out. I think you also have to be supportive. That's probably true. There's some right-wing weirdos, right? Some of them are straight. Yeah, like, that's a thing. Some, like, Marilyn Monroe is seen as a queer icon. Even though, as far as I know, Marilyn Monroe was straight. It's just, I've noticed this. Gays and queers in general really like sad women. Like Diana. They like sad women. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's not sad or gay, and she's a gay icon, that's true. Glamour icons that were sad are big hits. There we go. Exactly. I mean, it's why Elton John wrote that fucking song, Candle in the Wind, for Marilyn Monroe, and then ruined it by writing about somebody as awful as a royal. That's when I was kind of done with Elton John. When he wrote a fucking ballad about a royal. Diana's in hell just like all the rest of them. An aristocrat turned royal? She's in hell as well. People just delude themselves. Asked him till Tuesday and still not able to. Well, I got raided. We grew up with trauma. We're just depressed. Weren't you like 3 when that came out? Yes, and I still hate it. I think it was the first version of Candle in the Wind I heard and went, oh, I don't like this song. And then heard the original and went, oh, this is better. Done with Elton by 3. Well, I got into Elton John later, obviously. I don't think Elton John was as huge when I was a kid. Although Elton John did the Lion King soundtrack, which I don't like. I don't like Lion King very much. But he did the Lion King soundtrack, right, with Hans Zimmer. I know, Fable 2. We'll move on to a little bit of Fable 2 by the end of the stream. Just to see where we are, at least. Start a quest. I just need metal and stone first before we end. I'm still standing. Oh, when was that? Was that the early 90s, late 80s? Because I think that's an okay song. I'd much prefer 70s Elton John, though, to be honest. I think 70s Elton John is fantastic. Apart from that... Yes, Meowdy Rosie. The COVID version is great. I've never heard of the COVID version. Actually, Elton John did a song recently that I really like, but it does sample 70s Elton. Like, I thought the song that he did with Dua Lipa recently was great. And it's called Cold Cold Heart. I played that song over and over again. I really love that song. I don't really know who Dua Lipa is, but I liked that song a lot. Agreed. It's like Elton John covering Vic Reeves doing an Elton John impression. Did you see I started raising for laser hair surgery for my face? I know you said you'd be interested in doing that. Fantastic. That sounds cool. Any sort of body mod treatments I always think are very cool. Are you alive or are you dead? Did you fall out of a tree? You're a dead wolf, or boar. That scares me a little bit. Search Elton John Dill Dending. It's him singing it during lockdown. Dill Dending? Oh, is it because he can't really sing anymore? Does he sing it like, I'm still danding after all these years? because he sounds a little bit like Rocky now. No offense to Elton John, it's just he's kind of lost his voice. That's fair, because like he's old and has undergone throat surgery, right? He's clearly pissed or something. I mean, he's been retiring for 10 years, right? I think he's finally retiring, at least from touring now. Well, also, this game is really not having fun streaming. Hang on, Dill Dending. He's one of those forever retirees. Like, oh, there's a few of those. Hang on, let's search Dill Dending. Oh no. Elton John live murders I'm Still Standing. It just makes me sad, because I do like a lot of Elton John songs. I think Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is one of my favorite albums. And just, you know, the one with Your Song and all those is so incredible. You can never know what it's like. Oh no, Elton. Retire.
Your blood like when it freezes just like ice. There's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And just to think fool will never win. Look at me, I'm coming back again. Got a taste of love in a simple way. You need to know I'm still standing. You just fade away.
Oh.
You know I'm still standing there and everything. Looking like a true survivor. Feel like a little kid.
That's Sorry, I think I'm about to be attacked in Rust. I hear animals. Okay, I think the footsteps are just far off away. The little can is awful. I'm buckled. That is... I don't know, it feels a little sad, because, you know, I don't know, Elton John seems nice enough, right? Elton John seems relatively nice. I don't know, maybe he's done some real fucked up stuff. But, like, when I watch that, I just go, oh, you should just stop doing, like, public singing. Just sing for yourself and have some fun with it. Because I heard... He did an album recently of lockdown sessions, right? Where he did like collaborations with other artists. And he did one with Dua Lipa, which I think is great. I've heard he's a cunt. Well, maybe then. But he did that one Cold Cold Heart with Dua Lipa, which I think is fantastic. Great song. But then he did one with Stevie Wonder, and it's not a sample or anything, it's just him singing with Stevie Wonder, and it is quite sad to hear him singing alongside Stevie Wonder, because Stevie Wonder, I don't know if he's made any good songs since the 70s or 80s, but his voice is still immaculate. He's got a great voice still. And then Elton John cuts in, and it's like Sylvester Stallone doing an Elton John impression, and you just go, oh, that's sad. Something, you know, went wrong with your voice. I don't know why. It's because he got like throat surgery and it like deepened his range, and so now he has to like, he can't hit the notes he used to be able to, and it's just part of aging, right? It happens to everybody. At Jay's old apartment, they were near an arena, and we got to hear Elton John concert on the balcony for free. That could be good or bad, depending on which era of Elton John, right? Right, stone, stone, stone. We need a little bit more wood as well. Let's start collecting wood. I have never had a balcony in any of my houses, by the way. That sounds fun. I've never been to an arena, I think. I don't think I've ever set foot in an arena for a sports event, a sports game, match, whatever you want to call it, or a concert. I don't really go to live events. The one with Britney is fun. Did he do one with Britney Spears? I only listened to a couple of songs. I know nobody has money here, but would you be okay with me linking the go for me? Oh, of course. Go ahead. You're like a friend of the stream. You're allowed. And you can do it in self-promotion as well in the Discord if you like. If you were on Twitter, I'd retweet it. But, you know, you got out, which is good for you. Would much rather be able to afford to go rent a house with a garden. I do love having my garden. The garden is so good. Like, lockdown was made easier by the fact that I had a garden. Just because when you were going nowhere, it is genuinely very nice and pleasant to just step outside even for a few minutes and just have your feet in some grass and, you know, be able to touch grass, basically. It's nice. Like, even if I don't go outside in a day, like, I'm not planning on going anywhere today. I'm in leggings and feel too self-conscious to leave the house in them. Right. Oh, I'm about to be shot. But I don't plan on going outside today, but I will go out into the garden and just stand out there for a bit. I tend to do that as like a little ritual. It's nice. It's not a huge garden. It's just good to have a garden that isn't concreted over. My previous house where I lived with my parents, that had technically a garden, but it was literally just a concrete patch, and it was depressing, to be totally honest. There you go. There's the GoFundMe for Rosie. GoFundMes in general. It's depressing that they have to exist, but, you know, I guess it's good that they exist, because they have to. It's always nice when you see a GoFundMe doing well, but it's depressing that it exists and it's not just covered by everything, right? I guess, yeah, I thought the NHS would have covered stuff like, although no, it's England, isn't it? You're fucked. Ah, it's a wolf! Why aren't I switching to the axe? What's wrong with me? What do I have on me? Do I need to bring any of this back? I don't need sewing kits. Let's get some animal fat going, just in case I need to build even more furnaces. I don't know what's covered in terms of like transition care in Ireland. Probably not much, because when you transition in Ireland, I think they would send you to NHS owned things. Like, I don't think we have much here, because our healthcare is the laughingstock of Ireland, or of Europe, I should say. It's the laughingstock of Ireland too, but that's just because we all hate it. Right, this should be enough wood to get us started, right? And we can build a couple more furnaces, get as much metal as possible, and then call it, right? My sister paid, my housemate got NHS to pay. It's never consistent. Oof. 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 Again, I watched, Emma and I sat down to watch a philosophy tube video fairly recently, where she was covering trans healthcare in Britain. And both of us were so angry by the end of it that we couldn't calm down for a few hours. We're just both like shaking with rage by the end. So it's not a great situation to be in if you need it. Right? Just collect wood as we're on the way. Again, more wood, more metal, more stone. Those are the three things we need. Other than that, we're fine. I'm in America, so there's a whole lack of humanity for anything other than the rich white men. It is a depressing place to be in both countries, right? Ireland's getting there. We're not as bad yet, but we are getting there. We're rapidly falling down a hole. Not to be too depressing, but like Ireland's been steadily going downhill for a couple of years now. We've elected some bad parties over and over and over and over and over again. Like, there's really only a couple of parties in Ireland. There's Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. They are exactly the same as each other. And not even in the American way or the British way, where, like, now I would say the Democrats and the Republicans seem to be basically the same people, right? But they have a few. They're not actively trying to murder. The Democrats are shit and won't do anything to protect minority groups or marginalized groups in general. But they're not actively gunning them down in the streets like Republicans are. Same with Labour, and although Labour have gotten worse and worse in Britain. But I do mean literally. In Ireland, they are the same party. Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. I could not tell you a difference between them. They are the same. They are literally the same. They are both centre to centre right. They're exactly the same party. I don't know why there is even two of them. They both hate each other, but they are functionally identical. And then you've got Greens, who are spineless fuckers. I don't know, it's just it's not a great time. Don't come here. For some reason I can't pin this message. It might be links you can't pin. I actually don't know. Oh no, there you go. It's pinned now. Maybe it's just lagging because Twitch is shit. What was I going towards? Oh yeah, I didn't even mention it, but I'm going towards this drop. There's an airdrop coming, so let's get rid of the inessentials. Make room for some goodies in an airdrop. Who knows if it'll be anything good, and I might just die. There we go, that's enough room. Don't need the leather either. Just give me as much room as possible. Where's it dropping? I don't know. Not many people are on the server, so it should probably be fine. Is how I lost my Spaz 9, my Spaz 12. I feel really bad saying that, because at least here, that is a slur. That word. Is it Spaz 12? That would make me feel better about saying it. It can't be pronounced S-P-A-Z, right? It just can't. Although it's German, so it'll be different. It probably doesn't mean that there. I think it's German at least. Anyway, Spas 12. I'll just say that from now on. When I get paid, I'll donate some. I've always said SPAS 12 just to spell it out. That might be a better way of doing it. I pronounce the whole thing SPAS 12. I'll just say the big shotgun boy. This thing. The big shotgun. ESPAS. SPAS. There we go. It's just such a mouthful. I guess a shotgun would be a mouthful. Sorry. Bad joke. It doesn't look like anyone's around. I mean, I just have my torch on like a fucking idiot. So if somebody is around, they know I'm coming. Ah! Right, considering that was a polar bear, it did actually go all right. Let me chop up this body. We'll keep an eye on where that's dropping. Get some animal fat. It always makes me feel gross, and this is going to be the most pathetic fucking what the right would call snowflakey or soy boy thing I've ever said, but it always makes me feel a bit gross chopping up animals in Rust. I don't like it. It always makes me feel a bit chopping up humans I don't have any problem with, but chopping up the animals and killing the animals, I'm always like I tend to play Minecraft as a vegan. It makes it more difficult. Aside from playing it on a hardcore, I also don't eat any meat in Minecraft. At least you're making use of it, I guess so. Ooh, a flashlight. And some random fuel. You know what? Give me the goofy hat. Fuck it. At least I can have this on. Oh, it sucks. Never mind. It's terrible. When I play 7 Days to Die, I hate when I have to kill the wolves. See, it's stuff like that that gives these shites fuel. I know it's terrible. In this game, you can't avoid it, so I'm fine with it. And again, I am fine killing people. I'm fine murdering somebody, even when they're not NPCs. I'm fine murdering them. Right, this is some trousers. Oh, some clothes is actually really useful. A Thompson machine gun, some ammunition, a chainsaw, a rifle, and some scrap. Not incredible. Pretty good, though. Let's go back and stop my base from dying. Where the fuck am I? Oh, I'm so far away. Oh, God. Right, let's not die. I felt really bad in Pokemon for capturing them only to let them rot in a box forever. Do you think that happens, or is it like Cryo? You used to like chopping the animals when Emma's around? Well, that's the thing. If Emma is around, it makes me more bloodthirsty, just because I like making her annoyed. Like, if a dog dies in a video game, I'm like, oh. If a dog dies in a video game and Emma is with me, I will laugh harder than I've ever laughed. I think it's canon that they're aware in their balls. That's... I almost want to screenshot that message, because completely irrelevant of what's it called? Pokemon. That is a hilarious sentence. Pokeballs. I'm aware in my balls, sort of vaguely. Like, if a cat were to come up and swipe at them, I'd be aware. Although I guess I don't really ever think of them. They're just kind of there. I've never played Rust. Do you have any tips? I'm sorry you came in on that note. Not really. I am shockingly shit at Rust. I would say, honestly, just have fun. Like, you don't need to be. Don't play it. It's all consuming. I have gotten slightly addicted to Rust whenever I play it, but I would say I am really bad at Rust, and it hasn't really impacted my enjoyment at all. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's just a chicken baby. Oh, lovely. Hello. I thought you were an evil man. Cool. Let's go back and rebuild my base. I've been researching servers that I think would be a good fit. I would say my tip is to not join a public server. There's my tip. Unless you research it first and make sure it's not just vile. It's like any public game like that. Like, I remember my image of a public voice chat enabled server is when I played Crab Game, and the only things I heard were slurs. I think Rust is a bad game. Playing with good people is something that comes from outside. I sort of agree. I don't think it's an amazing game. I think it's like, you know, it's why being on a populated server is more fun. You can see the, you know, big, what's it called? You can see the big number up there and you're frightened when you're walking around. It adds some tension and some fun stuff. But I do enjoy the gameplay loop of Rust. I do enjoy just walking around gathering materials. As stupid as that sounds. I like wandering around in the woods chopping down trees. It's why I like Minecraft. Although I haven't played Minecraft in forever. Minecraft is one of those games, like a lot of survival games, where I played them so much that it makes me feel sick even talking about it. Oh, I tried meeting people from within the game and they tried to get into arguments about how Trump isn't responsible from the wall. I would say, yeah, that's not a good thing to do. I would say get into a Discord that you like and see if they're running a Rust server. I would say meeting people through Rust is rarely good. Although, some of my dearest friends I have met through Rust, but that was because of a whitelisted server. Like, one of the reasons I'm not on for the next few days is because I am, aside from being busy on Monday, I am traveling to Birmingham to meet up with some people, and at least one of those people I met through Rust, Nuku. I'm gonna be meeting Nuku in Birmingham, and just spending a couple of days like hanging out with friends. And I met him through Rust. He like shot me with an arrow or something, and then I shot him with a rifle. And from then on, we just started messaging each other. But that was because it was like a whitelisted server where nobody was too much of a prick. There was still some pricks, but, you know, nobody was too bad. Yeah. Cupid's arrow. How do you know if they are WL? I don't know what that means because I don't know any slang. Is this youth slang like BRB or IRL? Whitelisted, there we go. I don't know is the answer. Literally, it's just because a streamer I watch called Limmy, who I'd recommend, I suppose. Sorry, that's such a non-committal sentence to say. But a streamer called Limmy, they don't need the attention, they're huge, started a Rust server and was taking applications. It's usually done through Discord. I'm assuming they require an app in their description, probably. I suppose. I think BRB is older than you. Probably. When was BRB invented? I assume it's from like AOL chat rooms or MSN Messenger, neither of which I remember. I've never been on any of those. I love those sentence suffixes. 1 second. I'm going to type this. BRB etymology. In the early days of the internet relay chat. I don't know what that means. Lemmy, never heard of them. IRC. IRC has been typed in chat as well. I don't know what that is. Most folks had no way of setting a status as offline or away. Became a staple later in direct messaging applications. Typing BRB was a way of letting others in the chat room know you would be away from your computer briefly. Discord is basically a fancy IRC. So is it an IRC is like a client-based chat thing, like MSN or AOL. Again, I don't know what these are. The Irish Research Council. Is this what people are talking about? They invented a BRB? The Irish Research Council? The Irish Research Council was launched in 2012 and operates under the aegis of the Department of Education to support research across a number of disciplines and career stages. Interesting. I have never heard of this. Internet Relay Chat. Internet Relay Chat is a text-based chat system for instant messaging, designed for group communication and discussion forums. So it's like a system. God, I am too young for this. I'm not even that young, but I'm too old. I'm too young for this. Look at these graphics that I'm seeing. Why do they all look so old, even now? Right, I'm closing this. Like AIM or MSN. Like I said, AIM is AOL, right? Is that AOL instant messaging? Is that what it stands for, or instant messenger? I don't know what it means. Anyway, let's go put on some wood. Ooh, that's enough, probably. Let's put 2,000 wood in here. More and more metal. That is very good. That is all we need. The days spent in MIRC, no idea what that means, and queued for 3 days to download an album. Oh, God! That sounds horrible. That sounds really bad. Back from my work call. How's the rusting? We are up to about 9.5 hours of you know, life, and then we need to build some doors, and then we're done, right? In fact, let's build some doors now. How much for a door? Oh, more than I'd like, but let's build a door. Let's put a door here. Let's put a door here. And one more. Here. And then we need locks as well. How did they get inside in the end? I think they got in through the roof, right? They got in through this door, very obviously, down through the hatch, in here, blew apart this, and I think they got out through that way as well. I had to go to the library, find the album, and burn it myself. Oh, God. People were shocked when I said this, but I don't think I've ever borrowed anything from a library. I only got a library card a couple of years ago. I walked in while Emma was getting, because she loves the library, Emma was borrowing a book, and I asked the receptionist, how much is a library card? And she laughed at me and said they're free. And I was like, oh, could I have one, please? And she went, yeah, here, I have one. And I went, oh, thank you. And still haven't bothered using it. Where did you get books from? It's going to sound very Tory. I think my parents would just buy a lot of books. My parents were like big collectors of books. So they just spend all of their money on books. So they would just buy a lot of books, basically. I never borrowed books from the library. I keep meaning to go to our big library. Cork City Library's fairly big. I just never really hung around there. The one time I've gotten something from a library, I didn't even bother taking it out. I went in and took some photos of some sheet music that they had, because they have a big wall of sheet music. The library in Cork City is very music focused, so they have a lot of sheet music in there. I just took some of them. My parents had lots of books too, but mostly crime novels. See, my parents had overlapping tastes with me, so I never really felt the need to as much. My parents would read a lot of fantasy novels, sci-fi novels, that kind of shit. We did have a lot of shit books in my parents' house. See, the books were fine, I would say. Not amazing, but fine. All right, give me some of these. We can start putting stuff away. We can put the stone in here, definitely. That'll bring me up a little bit. Still need more metal smelting, please. 10.5 hours. I want this to be up to like a few days, basically, before we sign out. These days we'd be skeptical of free and assume that the library would track all your activity so they can sell it. Maybe some do. I imagine a lot of private libraries probably do. Read whatever fantasy novels were at the library, so a healthy dose of both good and bad, famous and rightfully obscure. I need to find a medical book to tell me how long it takes a 74-year-old man to heal from an 8-story drop. I just never borrowed anything. Like, I was in them when people would pass, and like my parents even would sometimes drop in. I just never borrowed a book from a library. They never even bothered getting me a card. Yeah, you know, writer stuff. I do like the very strange, like I follow a few writers on Twitter and they're always posting about very strange reference material they've found for like, I wrote this happening to a character, so I don't look like a massive idiot or a twat. I'm going to look up how it would actually work. Because, you know, people have the internet now and they can cite you on those things. Went at least every other week and always bought a full crate. It was the thing. That sounds unbelievably wholesome and nice. I'm not saying it isn't. And I guess Emma loves the library and is always extolling the virtues of libraries, which is, you know, good. Do that. Libraries are very, very underfunded even here and shouldn't be. So, you know, go to libraries more. But yeah, that sounds lovely. But she also describes it a little bit like how she describes going to what if you're American Blockbuster. Here it was Extravision, where they'd all go out every week and rent a movie and buy overpriced popcorn. And I was like, I don't think I'd like that at all. I think I'll stick with piracy and streaming, thanks. England had Blockbuster as well. I didn't even know. Here it was Extravision. Extravision went out of business not that long ago here, actually. And I think they still have like a DVD rental online service, Extravision. Extravision. I bought my first ever MP3 player in Extravision. Extravision Express closed. Yeah, shocking. This is what Extravision looked like. Extravision. Global video I've never even heard of. Italy has Blockbuster too. Does it still have Blockbuster? There's probably somebody who rented a book on erectile dysfunction in the library and the next week got emails for Viagra and thought the library did it. Probably. Ireland behind the times, surely no. When I was a kid, I bought my first MP3 player from here and it was a big moment. It could hold, I think, 1 gigabyte of music. And I was like, it's a new era. Because before that, I had only used a Sony Ericsson Walkman phone, which still had buttons on it, I think. And it could hold something like 2 albums. And so every Monday, I would plug it into my computer and load up what songs I wanted to listen to throughout the week. And, just decide what music I was likely to enjoy that week. So I bought an MP3 player and I was like, oh my god, this can hold 1 gigabyte of music. That's incredible. Listened to a lot of AC/DC on my Creative Pebble or whatever the fuck it was called. What was it called? Hang on. Creative Pebble? MP3 player? Was it called that? Yeah, that's what it was called. The Zen Stone. Basically the same. The Creative Stone. That was it. And it was that size. And it had this shit little LCD display. This was my first MP3 player. I enjoyed it. I had a red one. Mine was this red one here. Good stuff. I could never. Odds are probably made an appearance on Dank Pods. Imagine being forced to know your mood for the week ahead so you could pick the correct tunes. I mean, all I listened to was trash 80s rock anyway. Whatever happened to MP3 players? Why aren't phones really big about that? There is still MP3 players. I remember reading about it in a technology class I took in college. You can get MP3 players now. They basically look like hard drives or SSDs glued to a weird display, and they are usually like 7 terabytes, and it's for like fucking die-hard audiophile collectors where they just rip all of their vinyls to FLAC and put them on the MP3 player or, FLAC player or whatever. But there's still a market for them. You'll prize my iPod Classic from my cold dead ends. I never owned an iPad. The iPod killed MP3 players, then the iPhone killed it. Basically, I just used my phone. I hadn't had an MP3 player for ages because your phone just does it. It's just like, my phone has a lot of storage. I actually bought a card specifically for my phone so it would be more efficient as an MP3 player. I bought a 128 gig SD card just to hold my music, and now I just use Spotify anyway, so it's all wasted. I haven't deleted my local music collection from my phone. Like, how big is my local music collection? It's a direct copy between my phone and my computer. I'm going to right click on my music folder, click properties, and now we wait while it calculates. How big is this? 77 and a half gigs. That's actually not that big. 77 and a half gigs? That's not that much music. It's all 320 kilobit per second MP3s as well. They're not like the highest end FLAC or anything like that, or WAVs. They're all MP3s. It's not too bad. It's all right. Anyway. Go away from that. And again, I barely use it anymore. There were a few things that aren't on Spotify, for instance, that I do still listen to. Like, did you know? I wanted to listen to Devo recently. Devo aren't on Spotify. They have like one best of album and it doesn't even really have anything on it. I was like, oh. And so I just loaded up my Devo albums. That's a lot of hentai on the go. Would 128 gigs be a lot of hentai? Because hentai, it's video, so if you're getting it in I imagine if you're a hentai aficionado you'd want it in like 4K, right? You'd want it in like the highest quality, highest bit rate, or Blu-ray quality or whatever, right? When, like, that would probably take a lot of space. I'm going back to sleep, sorry. I'm not a hentai aficionado, maybe I'm wrong. Dreya carefully not implicating himself. But, like, I imagine it would be quite big, right? Video files in general have gotten huge. Like, I do video editing, it's big. Unless it's very compressed. But then what's the point of collecting it? I imagine maybe for video collectors it would still be physical media. Mine's a separate USB. Here's a fun server. Oh, there we go. I thought you were talking about your hentai collection for a second. Here's a fun survey. Hands up of those who still put a CD DVD drive in their computer. I do not have one right now, no. I have considered getting a CD drive, just a USB one like Rosie, because I do have a couple of CDs. I have a couple of music CDs still somewhere. I've got like fucking the Bends and some Pearl Jam and stuff. I have a couple of games on CD. I've got Morrowind Game of the Year edition on CD. I've got not much else. I've got Dungeon Keeper 2 on CD. Just your face posted over the pigs. Jesus Christ, that's cursed. Oh, Daddy, your video file is so big. Ooh, cursed. Cursed. The Bends and Pearl Jam. I've got the Bends by Radiohead. I've got the one Pearl Jam album that's good. 10. What else do I have? I've got a couple of Smashing Pumpkins albums. I think pathetically I've got a Def Leppard album. I think I've got Pyromania by Def Leppard. Oh no, you know what I have? I have the deluxe 2 CD version of Hysteria by Def Leppard. I'm embarrassed by it too, but it was expensive, so I'm keeping it. Anyway, I don't have many CDs. I never really grew... I grew up in the era when CDs were big, but my parents were early adopters of MP3s, so we never really bought many. Like, we had one cassette tape in the house, and I never really knew what it was or how to play it. I need a door up there, by the way. I put another door right there. There we go. And maybe a ceiling here. Maybe I should just demolish all this nonsense. Oh yeah, everything was illegal, by the way. Like, my parents... I've told this story before. I was like, oh, I'd like to buy some games when I was a kid. I went up to my dad and went like, I'd like some pocket money, please, so I could buy some games and some music. And he walked me over to the computer, my computer, and sat me down and said, this is called uTorrent. This is called the Pirate Bay. Knock yourself out. So I did not pay for a video game until I was 18. Literally, I mean that sincerely. I did not pay for a video game until I was 18. So occasionally my dad had old CDs like Morrowind, but that was about it. It's micro-torrent, for fuck's sake. Really? Is it? Is that what the symbol is? Well, whatever. We called it uTorrent, and then later on I switched to Qubit torrent because it's better and open source and doesn't scam you with ads as much. Yes. Anytime you see a price tag, it was blinding. Yes. I was like, this is how much things cost? Fuck me. Media's expensive. And then, you know, piracy went down a lot because of Steam and stuff like that. And Netflix. And now it's massively on the rise again because net streaming is shit. I don't know if it's massively on the rise for games, despite the fucking explosion of DRM, which is irritating. It's a bit like, remember when you would see on DVDs, if you rented DVDs, you'd get that like, you wouldn't steal a car, so why download a movie, that kind of thing. You would only see that if you legally bought the movie. It seemed like a complete misstep, just conceptually. Like, the only way you would possibly see that ad is if you bought the movie or rented it legally. So, when you pirate it, you don't see that. And it's the same with DRM in video games. It's cracked, and you don't get that fucking nonsense if you pirate it. It's great. Because it's not a car, exactly. Piracy isn't theft. I know it's copying. You're not physically stealing anything. To agitate the people who obey the rules. Yeah, it's just... It seems conceptually silly, basically. If it was that easy and consequence free to steal a car, I might do. Yeah, if you could download a car, obviously, yes. Yes, infinite copies can be made. Like, in general, I think the people who are going to pirate are probably doing it either out of necessity or because they weren't going to buy it anyway. Like, piracy has gone down in games over the years to very low base levels, right? And it's because some people just will not buy a game. And some people just can't buy a game, right? And so they're going to pirate it or whatever. I have in the past pirated a game and then bought it in the future a few times. Because I'm like, I really liked this game. I'm going to purchase it now that I have some money. Not often, but I have done it. Because I'm so altruistic. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, and some people just won't ever buy a game. They see it's like, you know, wrong to buy them or whatever. Pirate all Nintendo games? I'd do that, definitely. It is... After what they did to that fucking guy? Jesus Christ. God. Now I just pay $3 for something for a game on this one website. Are you talking about G2G or G2A? What's it called? I can't remember. Don't advertise it, but you know. One of those. But yeah, Nintendo, after what they did to that guy recently, what did he even do? He like leaked something or made a fan game. G2A, that's it. He made a fan game or leaked something or hacked something at Nintendo, released a game or fan game or something like that. And he went to prison, and now he has to pay 20% of his paychecks forever to Nintendo. That's fucking insanity. Like, that is so insanely dystopic that it feels like it should be like in a sci-fi novel. Like, it's so fucking intensely evil to do that to somebody. Whereas if, you know, they break labor practices or something, they're fined like $1 million one-off, which is nothing to them. You're all going to prison. This is another guy. Goddamn, they're going wider than usual. Yes, there's plenty of them. They are notorious for shutting down fan games and stuff. But basically, a guy made a fan game and it had like leaked stuff from another game in them. And they sued him into prison and bankruptcy, and now they garnish his wages for the rest of his life. One of the most oppressively powerful laws? Yep, definitely. It is evil. Genuinely evil what they've done. That's where they got the idea for it. It's like that meme that goes around. It's like, I intended the, you know, beloved novel, Don't Build the Suicide Engine has come to reality. Now that this San Francisco startup has built the suicide engine. Jesus, I know, it's bad. Anyway, need more metal, please. Can you please smelt faster? I might build another furnace while we're here, actually, while we're just waiting around. Let's build a couple more furnaces. We need stone and maybe wood. How do you build a furnace? Common furnace. Stone, wood, fuel. Stone, wood, fuel. We have plenty of all of those things. Stone, wood, fuel. Stone is not the thing that's, like, fucking us here. So, give me a couple of these. Thank you. Give me 2 of them. The poor guy who set up the ROM site for games they refuse to re-release or sell is in a similar... That's the thing, like, a lot... It is illegal. What I streamed a game called War in the North, right? A Lord of the Rings game from 2011, same year as Skyrim. I always mention that because it's so insane that what comes next. You cannot purchase that game anymore. It is impossible to buy War in the North. You can't send money to Warner Brothers in any form. It's not on any digital storefronts. It's not in shops. You can't buy it. And yet, it is illegal to pirate it, which is insane, right? You either need to go to eBay and find an overly expensive second-hand copy, or you need to pirate it. And it is technically illegal to pirate it, which seems baffling and bizarre to me. So how did you play Guardian on the way? I pirated it. I will say that. I went... Oh, my fucking God! I don't have any bullets. Oh, God, I forgot. No. Why did I not clear the authorized list? I don't have any weapons in here. Right. No, they're not authorized anymore. I think they might be stuck somewhere. They're not authorized. Things are locked. Can I not open my own fucking door? Oh! Ah! I mean, I don't want to spawn on a random beach. Ah! I have put a lock on my TC. Will they be able to authorize themselves? Huh. Well, we'll wait 20 seconds and see what's happened. You're bad at this. Get the lasagna game back on. Oh, they're still running around on my corpse. Don't like that. Right. I don't know what I can do, because I don't think they can get to me through this door. I don't think they can get to me. Yeah, there we go. But I don't think they can get out. I think I've trapped them in here, but they're the one with the gun. Oh, fucker! Fuck, they stole my metal again. Ah! Right, I would say I've been humbled a little bit. Not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do in this situation. It seems like we're at... Calling it a stalemate would be wrong. Because really, I've just essentially locked myself in a cage with an angry chimp. Naked. That's kind of what's happened. Right.
Welcome to the Goblin Cave.
Thank you for the follow. A checkmate. This is what you get for not playing Fable. Is there anything I can make here? I need a workbench for all the guns, right? A hunting bow, a machete, a sword, a salvage sword. I can make a machete with wood, which I don't have. Amazing. A bone knife. I can make a bone knife. Yeah, look at that. That'll help me out. I can make a bone knife. Oh, wait, there's a door? Can I go in here? Oh, come on, clear authorized list, open. Oh, fuck. I can't open my own fucking base. Oh, no. Oh, my stuff. Oh, okay. I have my gun. Do I have any bullets for it? If you can hear me, I'm willing to call this even. I can
Scrap.
I don't. Fine, fuck it. I'll give you the fucking scrap. Where the fuck's the scrap? Give him 600. I have 600 scrap. That's all I have left. Take it. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Jesus.
This is my home now.
Oh. I will drop the scrap here and walk away.
Me no trust.
I'm outside. Kill him with
Drop
grenade.
your weapon.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah. Kill him with grenade.
I was talking to my chat and I was saying no. Okay, weapons on floor. There, you can see. Weapon on floor.
I need cloth.
What? Fine, I'll go get cloth. Jesus. Why cloth? Here, you can have fucking 900 cloth. There, cloth.
I give weapon back. I see you.
Fair enough. Look, I don't think I can really be blamed for trying that. Look what's happening.
Reno's coming back to
I'm
check
like
if there was any
getting the
more
feeling
loot.
of coming in
and
the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at
There was
home.
no
I'm getting
locks
the feeling
on
of
the
coming
doors?
backstage when I pump up.
Yeah, I thought I put locks, but somebody must have taken them.
To be fair, you give me the biggest jump scare of my life.
Yippee.
I wasn't expecting anyone to be here.
Well, can you get out or not?
I have half your base. You cannot exit out of that door and the roof.
Oh, God. Fine. Whatever. Well, maybe we're just like unwilling roommates for a little while.
Show 'em.
God damn it. So, they've barricaded themselves into my house. They put their own lock on my TC. I feel like this base is it's compromised, right? Like it's received a parasite.
Don't mind me, I'm just practicing.
I'm gonna take all of this stuff into my room. I can't open my own fucking TC. Give me some food. Can I leave through the front door? I can leave through the front door. Okay, I can get out of there. What's in here? More guns. Take all of this. Maybe I just run. Maybe I just run. Well, they can't get in here, right? But maybe I start a new base in a new world, right? Like take all my guns and metal and high quality metal and gunpowder and stuff and just... Maybe I make a new shack. Can you actually get out? I can... Well, maybe I can't get out of the fucking full base, actually. Throw this down, throw this down. Don't need the double barrel shotgun. Yeah, I'll take the double barrel shotgun. Oh, God. Why? Why? What are they doing? Like, what should I bring with me if I do make a run for it? Jesus. What's the most valuable here? Maybe these? This? Maybe this thing? Gears would probably be good. You have the stuff for gunpowder? I do. But I mean, I have guns on me right now. Oh, fuck me. Jesus. Are they actively trying to kill me? Make a furnace and cook metal? Make grenade? I'd need a workbench for a grenade, right? Grenade requires workbench level 2. What about a bean can grenade? Workbench level 1, which I don't have access to without going outside. I think I might make a run for it. Take my guns. And just
May I request a camera?
Sure. I have one CCTV camera. Honestly, whatever.
Not that type of camera. The picture type camera.
Well, then I don't know. I have no idea what that is then. Right, take that. I'm gonna take maybe this as well. Solar panel, because I might do some electrics. Not playing at the moment, so no sniping. We are fucked. Is how it's going. Like, properly fucked. I think this is enough to run, right? I think we just run for it. Start a new plot, hidden. Oh, I wish I could open this quietly.
I smell you.
Oh God, they've locked me in.
I'd like to make a deal.
Go ahead.
I give you your base back and you will never see me again.
Sounds good so far.
But you have to give me some tech trash.
how much tech trash? I'm not good at haggling.
The cost of your life.
That's an extremely vague amount. Okay, I have 30 tech trash on me that I can give you.
Deal.
Fantastic. I will drop it there in a second. Oh, game
Don't
nearly
try any
crashed for a
funny
second.
business.
Kill and murder? I tried that and this is what happened.
I have 30 grenades.
They have so many grenades. You had a chance. Well, they're not coming out of their sealed room.
Now, for you to receive your base back, I need you to drop all of your weapons where I can see them, right in here.
That's quite a lot of guns I was holding.
Okay. Right. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to open the next door. You need to go out of that door. The door that's open. Do not worry, my child. I am knocking on the doors.
Go. Well, if I do get my base back, I can reinforce it again. Kill? Stop being so bloodthirsty. This is what got me into this mess, was killing everyone. Killing someone who's more competent than I am. Who didn't just kill me and steal all my things, fucking changed all the locks. Like, this was a code lock. Oh, Rosie never change. Rosie, I have a... Oh, God, they've stolen all my fucking metal, I think. Oh, God, I can see the building decaying. I had a reputation on the previous server for being kind of bloodthirsty. Rosie was way more bloodthirsty than I ever was. Rosie was essentially a server villain.
Dude, where is your wood?
I don't have any wood. Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
Wait a minute. Can you open your compound door, please?
Like mega mines. Oh, Jesus. I like the
You
dragon.
scheming?
What? I'm literally opening the door like you asked.
I meant your compound gate.
Oh, the gates. I'm dumb. There you go. I wonder sometimes if I was a little paranoid to booby-trap my house in Minecraft with massive TNT under the floor in case of evasion, and then this just supports the measures I took. Genuinely, yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna stand over here.
You're missing a weapon in the box. I believe you have it.
What weapon in a box? It's like an interaction with the fucking cops. Oh, the beef can't really stop the bleeding. I'm eating it instead of pushing it out against my wounds. I mean, I'm out now. Oh my god! Still never got in here. You should have died fighting instead of crawling on the ground like a dog. Are we free? Are we free now? I think we might be free. This is still not usable. Right. Now, how the fuck am I gonna do this? Okay, open. Remove lock. Open. How do I... Clear authorized list. No one is able to build here. Authorize. Immediately that's... better, yeah? Then... these are all locked. We can remove this and replace it. Okay. Now they can't get in. Watch for the mines. Oh, for fuck's sake. I will never recover from this emotionally as well as physically. Remove this one as well and replace it. Just change the locks, basically. We need to change... we need to change the locks. All of the locks. Remove lock. Replace it. Unlock. Can't do that. Fair enough. Remove lock. Replace it. Can I remove this lock? Remove lock. Replace it. Is that everything? Thank me with love, not bullets. I don't know if I will. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think we're fine now. Like, we have control of our base again. And we have some guns. Oh. Okay. 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 Not the worst thing in the world, then. We have some guns. I'm just gonna stash them in here for the moment. Does it have any bullets in it? No, none of them have any fucking bullets in it. Put this thing in here. Put this... I need this, I guess. Put this in here. More locks. Can I change the lock on this? Yep, fantastic. We have a little bit of metal in there, enough to hold us. Right, this was a very... tragic? This was tragic. Everything that just happened was tragic and sad. I know they don't know the code because they said I needed to open this for them. This was tragic and horrible. Oh, they left some of my stuff. Okay. We're still back, everybody. We're still fine. We still need more metal before the base decays, but other than that, I think we're all good again. I think we are back to being secure. They will need to spend more explosives. Somebody will need to spend more explosives in order to get in here. I know I don't have code locks on the doors right now. But honestly, considering how useless my team was, fuck them. Considering how completely and utterly worthless my team was in defending this place, or helping in any way, fuck them. Ooh, some bullets, thank you. Thank you for bullets. I have a torch, right, on this? I do. More metal, please. Just a little bit more metal, and then I'll be able to bolster up the defenses a little bit. We don't need a door there. Is the same base, or have we been evicted? This is the same base. We were... I mean... We weren't just raided there. I feel like that's not the right word. Raided and sort of perversely humiliated? Like raided and then infested and then ransomed. Like, Jesus Christ. That was horrible. Right, reload this gun. Occupied. There we go. I guess store some of these back in here. Oh no, I need that. Oh, store some bullets and stuff. Store this gun. Oh, I feel like using this gun right now. Just store shit. Just store everything. I don't want all of this on my inventory right now. Fuel up this. Have a bandage on me. Actually, no, we'll just use the X. Right, we're back, everybody. We're back. I've lost all rust respect for you. Well, the thing was, what happened, if you don't know, is that dirty little goblin shot me. I went, no, friend, please, I'm your friend, help, you wouldn't shoot this little guy, you know, like I sometimes do, to varying levels of success. Then I, was picked up, and then I shot them in the head and stole all of their things. And then, they said, oh, well, I'll stop. I won't raid you or anything if you give me all of my scrap back, 750 scrap. And I went, no, raid me instead. Not ever really fully expecting that they would, I think. And then when it did hit, it was awful, just awful. Oh, I did get a barbecue out of it though. Look at that, a barbecue. Lovely. Right. I think that's fine for now. I didn't even play fucking Fable today, but I've gone overtime again. And I have stuff to do before the trip tomorrow, so I need to go pack and stuff. Let me go put this last little bit of stuff in here. Honestly, I don't know. Like, without metal, this is gonna decay or start decaying, right? Maybe I'll log in for like an hour tonight and just gather metal or smelt metal more. Because I need this up to like 60 hours. It's at 20 right now. I need it up to like 60 hours before I can get back. Right, let's just go back into my safe, cozy bedroom where they couldn't get me. And we'll log out. If I get on later, I may donate some to your voice box. That's very kind. Right. Let's see who else who's sorry, that has done psychological damage to me. That little piece of rust has been horrible. So I don't know if I can talk anymore. Anyone in the self-promo channel who's still live playing Rust? Yes, maybe. Are you still live? Are you still live? Yes, they are live. I will raid this person then. More Rust. you know. And in their title, they say XP grinding and maybe some raiding, and evil. The word evil is in there. Fantastic. Let's go /raid. I will not be live again until Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to be live on Tuesday for maybe more Rust, maybe more Fable to make up for not playing Fable. We'll see, but I will be live again. I am flying out to, what's it called? Birmingham. Early tomorrow to see some friends. So I won't be back for a while. Bye, everybody. Have a nice weekend and Monday. Make sure Mikey gets a very big hug. Have a lovely trip. Yes, I'll be seeing Mikey. Probably the most huggable of us. I would say you would rank up there, though, Grenarius, as most huggable. Anyway, bye. Bye, everybody. I'm going to raid somebody now. See ya. Thank you so much for joining. It was slightly a disaster, but thank you for joining anyway. Bye. Oh.